Thursday, it's 8 o'clock, and it's the Big Detecting Show.
Good evening. Sorry, I was just reading a message from David. I'm David again, by the way. He's just messaged me to say, don't add yourself to the screen until the adverts have finished. So I hope you all enjoyed our witty little banter.
And it wasn't me. It was Sooty.
It was him. Yeah, he did it. Yeah, he did it.
Good evening, everyone. And welcome on board, Donna, tonight for the show. Poor old David. Well, apologies first for last week. I was busy. Dave has not been well at all. He's been very, very poorly. But fingers crossed he's getting a lot better. And Donna has kindly stepped in.
I have.
tonight for David. And those who are new to the show, we talk about metal detecting, and we talk about soot and sweep, and we talk about all kinds of things in the hobby that you might or might not want to know about. So we're here tonight, every Thursday, 8 p.m, YouTube and Facebook. Donna has been with the show for over a year now, I think, Donna.
Really? That long?
Yeah.
It probably is. Yeah.
So tonight, poor old Dave can't attend, but we're going to run through.
He's watching. I know he's watching because he saw us mess up the beginning.
James Barnes says, David, you look so attractive this evening. That's quite nice.
Hello, James, darling.
You're right, James. Hope you're well. Hi, Lee Perrin. Perrin?
I haven't got the chat.
Hi, Lee. Hope you're okay. Tony Cayward. Hope you're okay, mate. Adrian doesn't do
Hi, everyone. Yes.
Stephen Brame had. Oh, I forgot about that. He sent us an email. I'll show those shortly. He had a cracking day out detecting.
Really?
Yeah. Just over a week ago, I think it was. He found some really good finds. So we will talk about those. Mr. Graham Dempsey. Good evening, Graham. I hope you're well. Composite cleaning pencil.
And thank
Donna.
you, Graham. Thank you ever so much for just dealing with my inquiry and being super brilliant and a quick turnaround. I so appreciate your really excellent service. I mean, that's something we get in the hobby, isn't it? We get excellent service from our providers, but Graham goes.
We do actually.
I'm really grateful, and he sent me the coin vice. He sent me the coin vice. I'm so excited about it. and
is it the new? Is it the new one? You can put. Is it like you can put really small stuff in it?
I think you can. You can wind it in. So yeah, it's really cool. I'm just too excited. I'm too excited about it. So, and I'm in the middle of cleaning about a year's worth of finds.
I know you sent your bathroom. Your kitchen looks a mess.
You sent a never get away with it. Bloke would never get away with all of those.
No. If my housing manager came in and saw me in the kitchen with all that. It's everywhere. You were like a chimney sweep from the 1800s. It was soot everywhere. Your hands were black and oh god, I dread to think. Hi, Carl Ellis. Hope you're well. Nick Berry. Hope you're well. Heartbeat.
Andrew
Derek
T
Sherwin
as well, and Paul Tongue.
Yeah. Andrew T, of course, from Canada, as Dave calls it. Paul Tongue. Tommy O'Hart. Hello, mate. All right. I'm good, thank you very much. In Greenall. David Evans, right? Now, this is an interesting one because those who don't know David, he has, I think it's his 20th night sleeping in a tent in his garden for the great... Yeah, it has. Fortunately, for the great Tommy Sleep Out, he's been out in a tent every night for the great Tommy Sleep Out for the Royal British Legion. Actually, let's share his page.
Yeah, do that.
Because he's a detectorist, and like all of us, we like to support people in the hobby.
Absolutely.
So this is the great Tommy Sleep Out, David Evans. So if you type this in, social sync, I don't quite know. How do I share that page? It's a long old URL. I think if you go on Facebook and look up David Evans, you can find it on there. But with the show's just donated £25 for him. I think the bloke, he's looking at £100 target, bless him, and he's raised 725 quid so far.
Oh, come on. If everyone puts £1 in tonight, he'll be up there, won't they?
How do I share that? If you just put in David Evans on Facebook, if you're not on Facebook, just go to Social Sync app. I've not heard of that. What's that? Campaign. Oh, the interwebs is running a bit slow. Oh, it's because it's through Facebook or something. I don't know what's going on there, but basically, David Evans, hats off to you, mate. You've raised 20 nights outside, and like Donna said, the last few weeks have been
cold.
Absolutely, really, really. I think it was only today and yesterday we didn't have a frost down here, so yeah.
Can we get him to write something up about his night under canvas or nights under canvas for one of the?
Well, get him on the show. Get him on the show,
yes.
David. If David wants to come
on the show. We're hosting, aren't we, for April? While our friend Dave is recovering, so it'd be nice to have a few people cheer Dave up.
Or David, if you don't want to come on the show because you're shy or whatever, which is common with people, just do us a video and send it to Dave or whatever, or go to
you're really on it tonight, aren't you?
BigDetectingShow.com. Whoa, we've had so much bloody sun down here. I think I've got sunstroke today. It was very warm. But hats off to David Evans. I think that it's such a simple thing, but it isn't. Sleeping out in a tent every night. You got all your family at home going to bed in their nice comfy bed, and you're laying in a tent. Oh God, I don't think I could do a week. I really don't.
I could do it as long as you're comfortable, but not this time.
Yeah, but this time of the year, no.
I know. I did. I went on an archaeological dig in Northamptonshire, and it was really strange. It was really hot days like today, and really freezing cold nights. So you couldn't get comfortable in your tent. You were either too hot in your tent because you'd had the heat of the sun on you, like in your under canvas in your sleeping bag, or because of the night temperature, it got really, really cold, like a fridge in there. So you didn't know whether to lay out of the covers or in the covers, and it was horrible, absolutely horrible. Anyway,
he's got another 10 nights.
Is he enjoying it? Are you enjoying it, David?
No, he can't
he
be.
Might be. He's probably got a nice bottle of rum by his side.
But compared to what the people he's raising the money for have gone through, it's
exactly.
That's what I think goes through your head. So hats off to you.
We've got TC Detectives saying happy anniversary to Jim. So I think it's Jim Panting's anniversary. Derek said Angie's gone to bed because she's not feeling very well. Hope she feels a little bit better. Derek, say hi from us. Michael Jarvis. Hi TC, please don't mention Ipswich. What's happened?
No, it's soccer. Don't worry about it.
Insignificant. We've got news anyway. We're rabbiting on and we've got news. Detectable sold out in less than 24 hours. Digathon has just sold out today.
Oh, that's interesting.
It is, isn't it?
So Detectable naturally would sell out because it's been going for God knows how many years.
It's sold out a lot quicker this year than it generally does, though. But that's because there's no big RCM. I suppose people have been hanging out, and because there's not a date for RCMs yet.
I don't think Detective's as big as it used to be, but that's not a bad thing. Many years ago,
it was actually last year. I enjoyed that. I did enjoy that.
The year before was the new Pete from LP who organises the event. The first Detectable he ran, that I thought was lovely. That was such a chilled event, really good with the magic teapot. But yeah, it's good. It's sold out. Detector, what is it? The other one, Digathon. Digathon. I'm looking really forward to that, and I'll be attending that.
I bet they're chuffed that that's sold out because that looks like it's going to be a new kind of event. And I'm bringing Sir Stuart to that as well.
Oh God, David Evans. It's been okay. Been cold. -6 on the first night.
Whoa.
Oh God, Jesus. John Clayton, 6 years away from my 50th. God, 50th wedding anniversary. Yeah. RCM tickets, Derek Sherwin, they will be appearing soon. I think there's going to be 3 events this year, probably 500-ish people per event. Sorry, we'll see how it goes. But anyway, other things in the news. Well done to Max, who won the Garrett Vortex VX9 from Regton's this week through Treasure Hunting magazine.
One of your...
Give a shout.
Well done, Max.
Yeah, he nearly cried when I phoned him up, told him he'd won.
Lovely.
So well done to that.
That
And also, something I've noticed, I'll just mention it before we start talking about metal detectors. This week, I've lost the page. Have people seen that? Have people seen this?
That's a bargain. That is a bargain. A lot of people were going back to their Nox 800s from the Manticore, you know.
That is with a 15-inch coil.
It's a big coil on it.
From Crawford.
It's a good deal.
That's a hard thing to beat. But we've also got other things popping up, like this.
I love my Nox 800, and it's
the Legend is down to 600 quid. Yeah, and it's interesting at the moment in the hobby. We've not got any new machines coming out yet. We've got the HF coil for the DS2 coming out, but nothing compared to last year. It's gone a little bit quiet, and I think it's good for us in the hobby, because if you let's say you've got a let's say you got a machine cheaper than, I won't say a brand, but you got a machine cheaper than the Equinox 800, and you just started out in the hobby and you're looking for a good, reliable, all-round metal detector. Nox 800, 600. I know it's not cheap, £600. It's a lot of money. It's like most people's car insurance for the year now. But that's with a big coil, that is a good deal. And again, the Legend as well.
They're both outstanding machines in the field, and I think that take the opportunity now while you can, because it doesn't matter what comes out. It doesn't matter what comes out next. These will still be excellent machines. They will still do everything you want them to do. You know, we aren't at the stage yet where your machine is going to be set to gold and just take you automatically to it. So, you know,
well, it's interesting.
Detects.
It's interesting, Andrew T. I hope you're well, Andrew. Funny enough, your maple syrup fell on my head this afternoon. This morning from Canada, you gave me, fell out and hit me on the head.
Have you not finished it yet? I would have got to do that by now. I love maple syrup.
Well, I do love it, but I'm type 1 diabetic, so it'd probably kill me. So I have it in rations. But Nox are releasing a new machine. Yes, they are. And I've seen pictures of the new machines. So there's a PI machine, pulse induction machine, which is going to be more your Goldie people, potentially, or beach detectorists. But it's not a normal PI. It's got a little bit more in it. And then there's this, I'll call it a beast type machine, 1,500 quid. It looks like a CTX, but a little more cross between a Noctra Amphibio and a CTX. And they've filed a patent in Australia, funny enough, on their new machine. And that will be very, very interesting when it comes out, because I've spoken, and I love Dilek. She's a lovely lady. I've spoken to her a lot and we get on well. And I interviewed her, was it last year or the year before? No, beginning of last year. And I said, Dilek, if you're bringing out a machine that you're saying costs £700 and can beat a £1,500 or £2,000 machine now, what on earth would a £1,500 machine be like that you brought out? would that be the equivalent of a 3,000? Because they're cheap Noctas.
Yeah.
For what you
And
get.
the build quality is good. They feel like a solid machine in the hand. They're
So
and
I think personally it all got a bit confusing at Detectable, not last year or the year before, when they brought out the Noctis score, double score, triple score, and then if you had a legend, is that as good as a triple score?
it was a bit too soon afterwards. I think, yeah.
And I can foresee they're gonna change things soon. So it'd be interesting, very interesting. Anyway,
we had a question from Atwell Wayne. He wanted to know what was the advantage of having a HF coil on a multi-frequency machine.
I don't know because it hasn't come out yet. But I can only put it this way. My mate James, who's in the chat, has got a Deus 1, or the original Deus, with an HF coil, and that will compete against all of my machines up there. Not on depth, but on picking targets. So the Manticore, the Deus 2, the Legend, I can go on. High frequency coil will enable you to pick out the smallest and most intricate targets, and also discriminate better in the soil. I don't know what this new HF coil is going to be like on the Deus 2, but it's going to be £300, and it is going to be it's XP. It's going to work. So I'm very excited when it comes out. Very, very excited.
Do you think it's just going to make everything a little crisper, a little bit less blurry once you start to push a bit deeper?
Yeah, but not deeper. I think like when on a Deus 2, let's say you're running no or minimum discrimination, XY screen, a minim. Let's say a small Roman at 3 inches or 4 inches on a Deus 2 at the moment, you're going to get and an HF is going to it's going to be crisper.
It'll build the sound, magnify the sound, like a bit like the Legend does, where it magnifies the sound. It makes a small thing sound.
James Barnes, there isn't one. That's the problem Deus have. No, James, but it's coming out in the next few months.
You said something interesting anyway a minute ago. You used the word minim. You're not allowed to use the word minim or minimum because they are fractionals. They are fractional Roman coins. They don't describe them as minims. I also, on that vein, can I just clarify something? Because there was a little bit of Mrs. That's not correct when I was talking about the Portable Antiquities Scheme article that I wrote and the new
yes,
treasure
very good article.
Yeah, that went into treasure hunting, and apparently that has gone down really well. I think it clarifies a lot of things, which is wonderful. It really helps. I think there's going to be some more articles coming in the same vein, and we're going to open up the conversation. But I think it's going to only be helpful. The question about the how many hundreds of years do you have to declare things? Now, the issue we have is it is 200 years, except it's not. It's 300 years, except it's 200 years. So basically, this new act is an amendment to the 1996 Act. It's the third revision to the Act. And the actual treasure process for gold and silver is still 300 years in general. So anything over 300 years with gold, silver content over 10% will be classed as treasure. However, under the new revision, although you can park the kind of anything gold or silver, it's anything of interest, and it's got to be special interest, that Indiana Jones wow moment, over 200 years old, may be classed as treasure, including bronze. So there is a little bit of maneuverability, and that's where I think the lack of clarity came in when I was talking about it. So gold and silver, definitely over 300 years is going to be classed as treasure. Anything gold and silver 200 years old or more, so between 200 and 300 years, would have to be really, 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 really special to be classed as treasure. And bronze items, regardless, have to be classed as Indiana Jones. Wow, really special. Over 200 years. But
significant finds of significance.
That's what it is. It's finds of significance. So it is the
silver cufflink.
Silver cufflink. Nah, not if there's like, I mean, they might want
300 years old.
Yeah, but that would go in as treasure. But then they might look at it and go, it's not worth putting through the process.
More importantly, people need to know it is treasure.
Yeah, it is.
Here's one for you, Donna. I go detecting tomorrow, and I find a gold ring with an emblem on it. No hallmark. Yeah. Take it to the flow. She says we'll research it. Goes through the PAS. Goes through the Treasure Valuation Committee. They disclaim it. Comes back to me. Yeah. Right. This is under the significant fines. So I get it back. Oh, I'm happy. Farmer says, how much is it worth? I don't know. I'll go to an auction house. I go to an auction house. Auction house does some research. They find out that it belonged to Winston Churchill, right?
Yeah.
And they say, well, it could be worth £300, but it's actually worth £50,000 now.
Yeah.
And I put that to auction.
Yeah.
My flow finds out that isn't now an item of significance, and it's gone to auction. What happens then?
Well, in law, a disclaimer is a disclaimer. We're not interested. Now, what they're talking about is...
But that's a disclaimer of something that isn't of significance, but it now is significant.
Yeah, but they've already disclaimed it. I mean, it couldn't go back through... The likelihood is it would end up in a museum anyway. It would end up in some sort of collection, but the likelihood is because it's already been disclaimed. I think
it's a tricky one.
Yeah, but the whole idea of what you're finding for the Portable Antiquities Scheme is stuff that they want to record and research, and a unique item like that. Probably it would give the opportunity. It's about protection of the item. It would give the item the opportunity to be bought by a museum. So not necessarily sold abroad. Now, the idea of a Churchill ring would bring in interest from all over the world, and there's a chance that it could go to America. And there's a chance then that because the flow has seen it, they may want to get it back, but there is no legislation in place for them to get it back. They would have to go through a court process unless you decided, okay, it can go back. So they don't have a legal leg to stand on until that law is clarified. And that's the kind of thing I think we're going to be talking with Michael Lewis about. There's a few things.
It'd be lovely if you could. He came on the show. Sorry, butting in. He came on the show a couple of years ago. It'd be really good if we could get him on.
I think he definitely would. I think what we're waiting for is to get another couple of these articles out. I've had a really good response from flows who want to get involved and share their side of it. And you know, it's good for us to know what their experience is, as well as us as detectives. It works all ways. You know, some flows are brilliant, some flows are not so good. I think we suffer from a lack of consistency and possibly some holes in training. But, you know, they have to deal with us, and we're a funny bunch of buggers. So, you know, it'd be nice to hear their side of the story too. So we will see. We'll see how that goes down. But I'm pleased with that. In another vein, those of you who actually have a look at ArcMD magazine, so that's all three of us. It's our online magazine. Anyone can write an article for the magazine and just send it in. I've got an article going where it's gone live tonight about field walking. So if you want to find out how to field walk, then who was that on the cover there? If you want to find out how to field walk, then have a look at the article on ArcMD Mag, or how to scope for fines if you're metal detecting, how to scope a big field. And it's dead simple. It's only a couple of 100 words, I think. And the other one is on the origins of Cambridge University, and that's coming out tomorrow. I think that's going to be really controversial. It is controversial, I know, because I wrote it. But
ArcMD Mag.
ArcMD Mag. Yep.
There you go.
Brilliant.
It's interesting you saying about, because those who are watching the show, we're out metal detecting, and I think Philip Wheels put eyes down and keep moving, and we do. And even if I'm not detecting, I walk like an invalid in a field because I pace myself. I walk like an 90-year-old. My wife's like, "Come on, hurry up," because I'm like. And I'm picking up every kind of bit in the ground, and I never find anything. I want to find a axe, spearhead, or a nice flint, or something like that. I did find something about 4 years ago, which is actually the exact replica is in Sutton Hoo in the museum there, and it's a fossil. It's a fossil in the shape of a heart. And in the back of it, so it's literally looks like a shell, and it's got I've forgotten the name of it, some sort of fossil at the front, but it's in the shape of a heart. And at the back, in the stone, it's got a rectangle that's been etched out, which they reckon they put something on it to hold it up. And it was buried with the man of the house, the wife. In medieval times, the woman ran the house, didn't she, and all the finances and everything. And it was buried with him, and it is beautiful. It is lovely, and that was on the ground, but I haven't found anything since. I see pottery and stuff, but
but you. I mean, it's about getting your eye in, but also conditions play a really big part. I mean, especially if you're looking for flint tools, is understanding what a flint tool, a basic flint tool, looks like, and B is the right conditions for field walking. You want a really dull day. You don't want a sunny, shiny day. So hard to see stuff on the surface. In fact, it's really funny. We actually, the photograph that went into ArcMD magazine shows us early morning in the mist. Beautiful, beautiful photograph. We're on a field next to Burwell Castle, and the day came out so sunny and bright. Terrible conditions for field walking, and we were all gridded up properly, scientifically field walking, and there weren't a lot of fines coming up. And I started going. So the idea was we were bagging up the fines per grid and leaving it to be GPS all in one go at the end. And I ended up going back through the grids when the sun went in, and I picked up about 3 times more than had been picked up just because the sun's been out. So as soon as it had gone dull, you can actually see the colour difference on the soil. But once you get your eye in, and it's also known what other different kinds of pottery look like, because Iron Age pottery does have a tendency to disappear into the soil colour as well.
Nick Berriart, what is an echinoid fossil? A sea urchin, the spine. That is what was on my stone, my heart stone. It was a sea urchin fossil.
Yeah.
What?
I'm a fossil expert. I've got a stack of ammonites from Lyme Regis Beach somewhere. I don't think I've got any. Got some flints here, but I don't think I've got anything spectacular. Shall I have a look? I've got. Oh, look. Oh, I might have. Hold on.
I just realised the housing manager loved it, and it was on display. And it's
there. You go.
Disappeared.
You know me. I'm really good with the camera. Look at this.
No, I can. Oh, I always have trouble.
Are we having a dance, darling?
Oh. What? How do I? Oh, I know. I've got a button here. No, not that one. How do I?
You don't need to make me big. I look even more wrinkly then. Look.
Oh, hang on. Dave, how do I get her big?
Da, 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 da.
I took her away then. I don't know. Oh, hang on. Oh, hit. There, shows it.
There you go. Now look, this is very nice. It's a nice piece of honey-coloured flint, and you can actually see that it has been struck off a core. So you see where it's bent at the side here? It's where it's been just hit from the core. It would have been struck with probably a deer antler or something like that, just enough to create a ripple down the smooth surface here. And if you look at that surface, you should be able to see, I think this one's fairly smooth, but you see a rippling effect, just like when you drop a stone into a pond or a puddle. And you can see here, there's a slight lump, and that's called a bulb of percussion. And that's what's actually formed when the flint is struck, the core is struck. And this just naturally flakes off. In the Levallois method, this would be a secondary flake. It's actually been formed into a tool though, so you can see here, I'm trying to get the light right, that the edge is beautifully serrated, so hopefully you can catch the light. I should have had a new camera today, but unfortunately Mr. Posty didn't deliver it. And you can see here, oddly, there's a piece of cortex. This is the white skin that forms around flint, and normally you wouldn't see that on a piece of worked flint, but in this case, you know, it's such a nice piece of flint. The flake has come off so well. They've just retouched the edges. They're nice and serrated, and they've used that as a scraper probably, but that's actually quite a big one. I hope you enjoyed that. You do find more of it than you would think would be in a regular field, especially out this way where there's a lot of natural flint. But that is a particularly good one. I mean, I went out with a friend. Oh, that really, really windy day we had. And we ended up out in the middle of nowhere in the fens. And we both she picked up a stunning scraper, nicer than that one. And I said, oh, definitely you've got find of the day. And then within about half an hour, I literally tripped over the nicest flint I've had for a long time. But we will do that talk. We will do it's called Let's Get Stoned. And we'll advertise it as Let's Get Stoned. But it is my talk about flint, all about flint.
Thank you, Donna. Jim Painting. Adrian, a donation to a charity of your choice to be pictured on page 1. Brilliant. What do you mean by that? What's that? What's that mean? Is that on ArcMD, Mag? My charity of choice, probably Tommy's Heroes, which is children who'd lost their parents in battle. And it is a very small charity, but it's getting bigger and bigger. And it's, bless them, Dad goes out to work and he doesn't come home because he's been killed. And those kids, bless them, Tommy's Heroes, I highly rate that one. So we're talking about metal detecting. We ended up talking about flints and everything tonight, but we're talking about.
I mean, when you are actually out in the field, you do see everything. You know, you see the wildlife, you see the fossils, you see the flint, you see the pottery as part of detecting.
Well, it's pretty much nature bathing, but going back, nature bathing, it's a Japanese thing.
That's a beautiful terminology for that, actually.
It is, yeah. But anyone who's watching the show tonight who's new, I don't think there is, they're straight away thinking, do I need a license to metal detect in the UK? No, we all know that. You don't need a license. You can go out and detect pretty much where you want on private land, providing you've got the landowner's permission. You can go on the beach. Jesus Christ, is that how much? Sorry, I just had subscription notification come through for my doorbell. As long as it's not owned by the Crown Estate. But there's lots of questions.
The Crown Estate land you can detect, but you have to detect between the where the highest tide comes in, and this is where people get it wrong. You're not
Well, it's not.
unless you've got permission from the council. You're not supposed to detect in loose sand, so you're supposed to detect between the water's edge and the highest tide line, and that's where it's free to detect, but only on Crown Estates land. You may be able to detect the wider beach, but only with permission from the local council or the private owner, whoever owns it.
And as long as it's not like who put that in there? Scheduled monuments.
Yeah,
I think I saw that.
Or
And
SSI. Yeah.
Donna, explain SSI because I've got a few round near me.
Special scientific interest. So that could be preservation of wild birds or plants, or the case of coasts, it could be actual preservation of sand dunes. They really don't want you to go digging about in sand dunes because they are basically what stops the sea from flooding inland. So they are part of coastal protection.
They don't really work though, do they?
Well, if they
especially
were if they were as dense as they ought to be, they probably would. But you know, we used to dig holes in the Hunstanton years ago when we were kids. So yeah, they're not as when I went to Hunstanton, after not having gone for quite a long time, the sand dunes were much diminished, and it's nothing to do with the tide coming in. It's people digging it.
I'm interested. I've got 3. So if we're in the chat tonight, we're all people who've been detecting for at least a year, probably longer, potentially more. This is an interesting question. Someone comes up to you at work or in public toilets or wherever you are and says, "Oh, I want to buy a metal detector. I've got £300. What one should I buy?" What would people in the chat recommend? £300. I've got 3.
I know what I would say. I know what I would say to that.
What would you say, Donna?
I would say get the best value for money second-hand one.
Dark Knight Detectorist, very good choice. Stephen Brame, of course, Quest Q35, Xterra Pro, yeah, really good machine. I think the importance here is not multi-frequency, and I'll tell you for why in a bit.
Yeah.
Without
a doubt. Yeah, without a doubt. I would anyone who wants to begin detecting, I would highly recommend not having a multi-frequency detector.
I agree.
I think it's so much simpler to learn, and you know, something basic. And I'm not calling C-scope basic, but I mean something that you can just switch on, and it makes 2 noises. It makes a beep beep and you can really learn how to use your ears.
Quest Q30, if you can get your hands on one, it's Stephen Brame. I've got one, and it's actually playing up at the moment. I've got to sort that out.
I've never used them. I'd be interested.
They're good machines once you get to know them. I would wait. Hello, Adrian. Wait for Sid to sell one. Well, he's still using it. Oh, that's interesting, Lee. Yeah, sort of 71, 300 quid. Gold Max Powell Deus one. Well, yeah. Simplex Ultra, second-hand Legend. I didn't think that. Jim's just come back after an hour of me asking the question. Yes, Adrian. I presume he means the advertising. So, anyone else got any answers? You got a friend at work who says, "I want to start metal detecting," and this is good for those who have not watched the show before. And they're thinking of metal detecting. You want to buy a metal detector. 300 quid is quite a bit of money, especially if you compare it to fishing, because you can get a bit cheaper than that. So we've got Quest Q35, Xterra Pro. I think very good value for money. Very, very good value for money. Quest Q35. Again, a good machine. Could confuse people a bit because it's got a lot of features on it for the money. Tony K would save up for a Versa. Of course, he'd blink and say that. Matt Kent. Now, this is interesting. Vanquish 540. It's not the best looking metal detector, but oh my god!
I was going to say, if you buy a new one, I was going to say Vanquish.
It's a lot of money new, so second hand. Yeah. But if you compare that to the Xterra Pro, I would say the Vanquish 540 smashes it. Absolutely smashes it. Derek Sherwin Simplex, yeah. They're getting on a bit now. I think 4 or 5 years. The original Simplex, 4 or 5 years.
But do you know what though? The Simplex,
really good machine.
I had a lovely disabled boy and his dad on our windmill dig that we did with Ace, and they had the Simplex because we got that for the museum, and he really got to grips with it. He could really understand it. It does perform really like. Just straightforward. It either is something or it isn't something. You dig it or you don't dig it. It's almost like sort of learning old school. So, yeah, I would recommend that. I think that's a good shout. Whoever did that for a beginner. It won't grow with you, I don't think. But for a beginner, it's a good one.
Lady Martin, get in touch with Ellie, Miss D. She was waiting to hear back from Dave.
I know. I've been busy. I have. Dave's not been well, Andrew, and I have been. I've had an annual meeting, public meeting. I've had 2 talks. I've had a trustees meeting. I've had a museum committee meeting, and I've done 2 articles for RKMD magazine this week, and it's my birthday next week, and I'm getting ready for my kids to come home and judge me on the tidiness of my house.
Well, by the state of the shit books all piled up behind you, you need to pull your finger out. TC to text. Deep Tech are about to release a new single frequency machine for 300 quid. Yeah, I think that's the Onyx or Onx. Yeah, Deep Tech, really good machine. Stephen Brame. Xterra, yeah, is good. Oh, here we go. John Clayton, I've got a C-Scope 2M and a white Spectrum. I think they're going to become collectible too. Garrett 200i. Which do you prefer? Fisher 1265. Hello, Fodder. You're all right, mate. Tarasaki. I'll never say it. Yes, actually, Matt Kent, he's raised something interesting there. The Quest.
Vanquish.
The Vanquish is multi-frequency, but it doesn't act like a multi-frequency machine because it's very stable, very stable.
This is the one as well.
This is the one. I'm really Blazage. I'm really pleased you put that in there because if you're new to the hobby and you want to buy brand new, that is what I would recommend. Vanquish 340. David Evans 540 all the day. Yeah, it is a cracking machine. ORX for 300, easy to use, not too complicated. Simplex or Legend. Yeah, see, this is the other one. Adrian's right. Deus One. They're second hand, but they still fetch a lot of money. Oh, sorry, TC to text, D text called the Onyx. Dean McFord, the Tony. Oh, here we go. Hi, I'm Dave's work colleague. I've been doing research for nearly I cannot decide which machine. Yeah, it is. Hello, Anthony. Anthony,
I think you're one of 2 camps, though, aren't you? I think you either prefer if you've been researching which detector to buy. First of all, it's what you get on with best, whether you are more kind of mind labby and kind of get on with that noise and operation, or whether you're more snappy daisy and you get on with that, and then you can kind of strip down from there according to budget.
Anthony, it's like trainers. You look at them on Amazon or eBay or nowadays, and you look at them and think, yeah, they look cool. You go in the shop, you try them on, and like me, Pumas don't fit me. I don't know why, too tight. They look nice, but they're not comfortable. You really need to hold the machine.
Yeah.
You really do.
Go visit
You really do.
or somewhere like that who carries a lot of stock of different machines.
Yeah.
Good
Or
recommendation.
Crawford's or
Yeah.
the Technics.
And
Depends where
also,
you live.
most of them have a stock of second-hand machines, and you might get a deal on a good second-hand machine because a lot of the second-hand machines get tested and refurbished as well and come with a warranty.
Anthony, I feel for you because
It's complicated. It's not out there.
I've got a lot of metal detectors. I'm quite fortunate. I've probably got every model that's been launched in the last 5 years. And I can honestly say, out of all of them, the most expensive one compared to the cheapest one, my finds of anything from a gold noble to a gold ring to hammers to whatever, it's not the best one that's found the best thing. And it's not the cheapest one that's found the best thing, but the cheapest one has probably found something that I wouldn't thought it'd find. So but there's cheap machines that I don't like using the word cheap. How do I put it? Low beginners machines.
Beginners machines,
that I use and I still use to this day. And the reason I like them is because they're comfortable. And sometimes you just want to go out there on a nice day like today. You want to go out in the field, get your shaft out, make sure it's all rigid and solid, and turn it on and metal detect. And all you want is which is iron, Anthony, and which is something good.
Do that one again, please.
So it's really hard. It's very difficult. Dave will actually guide you in the right direction. £300, £500. You start getting to the 700 to 800, £900. That's when it really, really gets confusing because you've got MindLab, you've got Rutus, you've got Nocta, you've got.
You're in your element now, aren't you? You're just reeling off names.
Yeah,
now.
sorry. Yeah, no, I'm just thinking it's really hard because.
Go and talk to people who know. Go to a really good shop that's stocked.
He might, go to it. I know it's hard. Donna's right. On a Saturday morning, make sure it's raining. So you've got nothing to do. You're sitting home. You've just watched Back to the Future box set end to end. It's 11 o'clock in the morning. You don't know what to do. Get in your car, drive to a metal detecting shop. Not a fishing tackle. Well, nothing against fishing tackle shops, but go to just a specialist dealer. Go in there, and they'll say, "Oh, hi, can I help you?" Say, "Yeah, I want to buy a metal detector," and you might like the look of it. You might like the way it feels. You might like it because it sounds like the name of your dog. I don't know, but you're not going to go wrong nowadays. And I was only talking about this the other day to the owner of Treasure Hunting magazine. You can't really go wrong now. You cannot go wrong buying a metal detector.
But any
from a
detector
distributor.
is going to find you something. It will
Apart
find you
from a Chinese one off Amazon for
£99.
Don't do that. It will go down 3 meters.
Thinking about it, just be wary online. I recommend you buy from a reputable distributor and that you try what you buy first, or you know what you're buying first. I mean, I bought the Legend based on testing it out at Detectiveville, I think 2022, and thought, you know what, I actually really like that. That appeals to me. I love the screen. It was easy to use, and I just wanted a really good backup machine that I could have in the car in case I had a problem with the machine at a rally or something.
I don't push forward any brands, but I think if I can't think of any that if I thought of them that were rubbish. Well, no, I'm not going to say it in case I get in trouble.
No, don't say it. You know, let them go.
But then they don't advertise in magazines. If it's not in a magazine, it's not very good.
No. Master a day is one, and you've mastered them all. James said something else as well. He said any bronze acts of the Bronze Age period is not under treasure. Wrong, James. It will be actually classed as treasure in terms of it is a bronze item over 200 years ago, and you need to take it to your flow. And you're right, it won't be classed as treasure, but they do want to record them, and they are probably hundreds of categories of artifact that they just want to record, and rightly said by you, for distribution research. The flows and the archaeologists are doing a huge amount of research into distribution of different kinds of artifacts across the country, and what we register with our flow, what gets put on the portable antiquity scheme, is playing a massive part of that. Right, I rest my case there. Right.
Sorry, just quickly, Jim
Yes.
Painting, first machine, a City and Sweep C-Scope 1220 SX. Now, going back to metal detectors, we didn't put C-Scope in the mix. C-Scope in the 70s, 80s, 90s.
I did. I did.
Yes, you did. Early millennium were well beating, to be fair.
I'd still love them.
They're still going. And if you go to cscopemetaldetectors.com, you can have a look. And if you want a metal detector that will find your stuff, which has got no faff, but hasn't got a rechargeable battery as of yet, but they're coming out in April. That from me. They are really good. And if anything goes wrong with it, you just put it back in the post to Kent and in Essex. And they'll fix it for you. But yeah, C-Scope metal detectors, give them a big shout. Funny enough, my field test's on their website, which is quite nice.
That's
yeah,
not
they're
funny.
really
I
chuffed.
mean, you did a good shout. You really enjoyed using that.
I love it. I love it. It reminded me of a brand new old car. That makes sense. I could tweak
what
it.
I have.
I could play with it.
That's what I had.
It is.
Civic. Yeah.
Honda
Drives like a
Civic,
dream.
yes.
Drives like a dream.
don't
You
talk to
can
me about
crash it
cars.
into a corner. You can rally drive it. You can have a great time. But yeah, you don't have to worry too much about it.
My detecting vehicle came back from the MOT shop this week. 500 quid's worth of welding. But it's what do you do? Interesting comment here from Philip Wheels, and I love people who comment things like this. Philip.
What did you say?
So magazines like this.
It's just because you're on the front.
I write for. So we got Nocta. We got Mine Lab, who interestingly are selling online now. So you can buy direct from Mine Lab, which is quite interesting. And Philip said, you can. So rather than go to any distributor, you can buy direct from Mine Lab in the UK, which is interesting. Would you want to do that? I don't know. Do the magazines turn down adverts for crappy machines? Treasure Hunting magazine do. So if Mr. Tamagotchi phones us up and says, I want to pay you £500 or £1,000 or £50 to put an advert in the magazine, and he's got a metal detector that goes down 3 meters, we won't publish it. And the same applies to field tests. So as you know,
wild claims.
As you know, I field test a lot of metal detectors and quite often get sent them and get asked to review them. I won't do it. It's just not viable.
You've got to protect your integrity, but also, you can't claim something that it isn't, and they wouldn't like it if you were going to be honest about it anyway. Can I just say, Stephen popped in a question there. He said, Donna, did you see my question about the toggle? Are they the same as a matrix seal? No, they are not, Stephen. I haven't seen your toggle. A matrix seal is, it will be like a crest or something with an animal on that. If you press it into some blue tack, it will make an impression that looks like the reverse of whatever the picture is. A toggle will be something like a toggle on the duffel coat. A toggle will be something that fixes something up, and they've been around since, at least the Iron Age.
70s.
Yeah. No, not those.
Right, Donna.
Yes, darling.
Do you know what time it is?
It is. Don't mess it up.
Is it there?
It's not big. It's there now. We haven't got the wall with the numbers on yet, though. We've got the no numbers. Yes, here they are. The numbers are here. Right. We have a request. We have to start at 21. It's the law. Number 21, please. Shall Lady Martin make an appearance? We'll have number 21. Could we have Dean McAvady at number 13? Oh, this is bold. And John Clayton, one's birthday, 24. I'm 21.
Oh.
Pimp My Staff, darling. Oh, number 11.
I'll be impressed who gets this.
A woohoo, a pot. None of those. We did number 20, didn't we? We haven't got any more numbers, so I'm going to say number 17.
You did do 20.
We didn't do 20. Number 17. Oh, look at that. It looks like it's dancing. A Roman elephant, a lead ampulla, a Roman statue, an inkwell, a pot that you grind stuff in like herbs. This is my English heritage voice. I do apologise. Plant pot stand, a lead ampulla, a sundial, an etc. Oh, yeah. A lead figurine, a candle holder, an oil burner, a sundial, a number 12 from Stephen Brame.
That gives it away. If you know what you're looking at.
It does look weird. I didn't even know what I was looking at when you said Pimp My Staff. Do we know who that is? This is number 10. Have we got a prize tonight, darling?
Graham, if you're watching, yes. Yeah, we will do a prize tonight.
A Roman fibula, oil burner, darling Andrew. We've had oil burner many times. TC, please go and get in the bin. A rude figure with the knob snapped off.
Oh my God!
He meant a handle.
Has it gone 9? 1 minute past 9. He sits there all week waiting for the water. Funny though.
And the next one in was Michael Jarvis with pipe tamper.
Right.
A butter dish, not a clue, said Stephen Brame. Number 29. And TC said a talc dish.
Oh, he's won. It's actually something which would be an amazing find if you found it.
It would be, but I just don't get it.
It's medieval. It's medieval. And
John Clayton, do you really think they had soap in the medieval period? I mean, come on. No.
But how do you know? Because it's washed away.
It would have been a whiffy period in history. Whenever I ask anyone, when you teach history, you say, if you went back 100 years, 200 years, 1,000 years, what's the first thing you'd notice would be the smell. We would notice the smell. A champagne bottle cover. Phil, I get where you're coming from. John Clayton, I do. I don't know what he does. Rob Cornwall, an incense burner. Oh, Dean, you are so close. A tankard stand, even though you spelled it wrong. Jacqueline Walker says 4. You don't win a prize, Jacqueline, for guessing the number. Philip Wills, plate. Stephen Brame, I was thinking medieval, but not a clue what it was. Good guess, Stephen. Let's go number 2. Number 2.
It's glass. What you put in
number
glass?
15. A matrix seal, a bottle stand, a wine goblet stand.
Oh, no.
Stand. Number 7.
We won't go for the exact description. We'll go for someone.
An oil bottle, an ink pot. We've had those. Bottle stopper. We've had those. A candle holder. We've had that, John. Number 19. Incense burner. We've had that. Perfume bottle. Glass stem. Philip Wills. Very close. Perfume bottle. Candle holder. Incense burner. Gareth Howard vase. Number 23. Wine glass, Jacqueline Walker. Bang on.
Oh my God! It isn't Philip Wills. Oh
isn't
my
Philip
God! Well
Wills.
done, Jacqueline Walker.
Well
So-
done, Jacqueline. Can you send your name and address into the show via the website, please? And we will get your prize to you.
So this is a lovely find.
I didn't get that it was glass.
Yeah, post-medieval drinking glass or goblet with lead.
I don't think that's post-medieval, do you?
Donish. Dating back to 17th, 18th century, the goblet is made from green glass. The remaining fragment consists of a knop from a multiple hop stem with a caged lead alloy repair. The repair consists of two. So it's a repair. I sort of agree with Donna. It might have been something else, but they've said it's a drinking glass or goblet.
Yeah, I mean, I think if it is going to be a drinking glass, I think it's going to be early. It's not later medieval. I think it's early.
It's very small, isn't it? You were not going to get drunk drinking that.
It's
But
very strange. You'd expect
well done.
Later to be a lot more decorative. Smashing.
Well
yes.
done, Jacqueline. If you go to,
Already said that.
I can't even spell it.
Adrian at the big detecting show. Is it
No,
Dr.
if she just goes there,
Yeah.
and goes to the contact us page, and sends her details, we'll post her out a prize.
We should have a vote now on everyone who noticed me say that about 5 minutes ago.
Yeah, sorry. I'm trying to do buttons.
I know you are. I'd be hopeless. We'd be all over the shop.
I was telling Donna earlier, wasn't I, Donna, that I've been sitting on a pub beer garden bench for 2 hours this afternoon, and it's really hurt my back.
Matt said it might be a mini witch's altar. He brings it up every time. Yes, Matt, I will do. I should have gone today, actually, but I was a little busy. As I'm late, I can vote for the winner, said Jim. Brilliant.
Michael,
go on.
Sorry, Michael Jarvis, 2.5 centimetres, really?
Yeah, I know, Michael. I know. There are some of these things that appear on the PAS database that, having handled quite a lot of items, and been to a lot of museums and been behind the scenes and been in collections, I am really dubious about some of the descriptions.
I agree with Donna, and that's why I brought up earlier about significant finds.
Really, Matt? Matt was in Ely last weekend. You should have come to see me.
Ellie, are you near Claire? No.
Me?
Claire?
Me?
Claire?
No, I'm between Ely and Newmarket is where I am.
Oh.
Yeah. Anyway, can we get back to detecting, darling? Come on, we need conversation. I want to be a detectorist. Right, listen to me. I want to be a detectorist. And you are the world's greatest field tester. What do I need after having tried it? And okay, I'm prepared to learn. I know it takes time to learn. It's not going to be an overnight thing. It might take me 2 or 3 years of invested time, but I'm willing to take the time to learn it. What do I need apart from a detector?
Firstly, I would say don't think about learning, think about enjoying it.
Yes.
Because you go out there, you'll find ring pulls, you'll find tin cans, and more importantly, recently, a lot of Whiskers plastic wrappers for cat food. Yeah, loads. So years ago, we used to have tins of cat food or these plastic things for the posh cats. But more and more now, I don't know about so much recently, but in the last 5 years, we had these pouches, like baby food pouches.
My cats have.
Yeah. So a fox will not drag a tin down your garden, out over the fence into a field.
I see.
Whereas a sachet, they can. And I've dug a lot of cat food sachets, not dog food. Anyway, going back to, so
what do we need?
It's then? it's so basically, you'll go out. First time you'll go out, you'll detect, you'll find nothing, and you'll get bored within 2 or 3 hours. If that's the case, put your machine on eBay, sell it, and go and take up hockey or something else, because it's not for you. You need to have patience, and it will click. I think people in the chat, I'll be interested in what people think in the chat who first started metal detecting. It's a bit like when you light a bonfire in the garden. When you're a kid, you light a fire, and a couple of your mates go, "Oh, it smells. Oh, it's dangerous," and they'll go away. And then there's like 10 of you or 5 of you, and there's 1 or 2 or 3 of you sit there enjoying it. That is like metal detecting. You get heat off off a fire. Metal detecting, you get nature, you get relaxation, and you get chill.
Don't you think there's got to be an element? I mean, I know when I had mine, I didn't know anyone else who detected. I just knew I wanted to do it. I'd seen people doing it on Time Team. When I was growing up, there was a lad in our village had a metal detector, and I used to think it was amazing that he could go out, and he used to do lots of people's gardens, and he started doing fields, and he had found things, and he was showing us things on the school bus that he'd found, and I thought, wow, that was all treasure to me. I used to have, my girls had one, and they called it a treasure harker, where they put all the little bits of china and things like that they found. And I had one when I was a kid growing up. But I was fascinated by that. And I think when I had mine, I'm a natural learner anyway. I love learning. I'm obsessed with educating myself. But I had my detector. Wasn't a great one, but I wanted to learn how to use it and find things, and I made a crap detector into something that found things because I was so determined. And I think there has to be an element of you that wants to get past the nails and rough bits. I mean, I was lucky because I pretty much went out and started finding, Victorian pennies and shillings and things like that. I had a reasonably good first permission. I was lucky, but
yeah, I agree. I'm just looking at the comments. Philip Wills, Stephen Brame. I would say a good thing about detecting is people he's met. Yeah, because they're all on the same. Totally agree with that, Philip Will. Well, yeah, some you want to meet, some you don't.
We find our own tribe, don't we?
Philip wanted to do it as a kid, but I listened to someone's detector on a beach and it made a constant drone sound, so I was put off it. Yeah, and my granddad was detected in the 70s. I got hooked then because he was finding stuff because it was all on the surface. But an interesting question here, and this I've never come across this before. Michael Jarvis, can you have 2 pair of earphones working to one machine simultaneously? As my wife Katie likes listening to the tones, people frown if you have a loudspeaker on. Yes, actually, that is a very.
Isn't that what the weird thing comes with the Nox 800? What's the weird thing? The training thing with the Nox 800 that you can do that box. The one the WM is that does that.
So I think you've got 2 headphone slots in there. You've got 3.5 and a 0.5 mm jack. Oh, it's such a good question, Michael. Thank you for that.
We will ask it. Are they normally drunk? Who's normally drunk, Philip? I don't know. I'm not. I don't drink.
That, Michael. I'm not going to sleep. Gosh, that's a very good question. Because quite often at rallies, you get husband and wife. The wife is digging, and husband. I've seen it at many rallies. The husband's detecting, and the wife's digging. That is a very good question. TC detects. I think you can do it with Bluetooth. Yes, you can. You could get a splitter. It'd be wired. Yeah, audio splitter. It'd be wired. So it'd be a right old kerfuffle when bending down and that. I know for a fact with the C-Scope CMSXI, I had a Bluetooth module on there, and you could sync multiple. But that was a non-C-scope one. You could sync multiple headphones to the same Bluetooth device. But yeah, that's a really good.
It's a good question. We'll ponder it. We've got Matt said he had a first the other day for his flow, a Roman bone lever. We've had lots of people comment in with things that we would need. Lots of people saying, "Well done, Jacqueline." We've got a spade, and I think we talked at length about spades. You did with Dave the other week.
Digging tools, Donna.
Yeah, digging tools and a pinpointer. I mean, the thing is, Jim, a pinpointer wasn't something that we had when we started out. I mean, it is a godsend now because my eyesight is rubbish and I don't wear my reading glasses on the field. But I wouldn't find anything in the clods without a pinpointer. I have to do a lot of things by touch. I swear I'm nearly blind. But yeah, I think that they were a game changer when they came out. But I mean, the kit, you know, the clothes, do we need to wear particular clothes? What is good? What should we kit ourselves out with? Hello? God, I can hear your brain then. What's the question? She's asked me a question. Oh, was it like Fox in the Headlights?
I enjoy that. If you are as a lady or as a man?
Doesn't matter. What do I mean? I would say.
Well, I think ladies should wear skirts, short skirts, to help them bend down.
Asked you that question. A short kilt, ladies for short. I bet a bloke wouldn't be out in the freezing cold wearing a short kilt.
I would. Sorry, Donna, we'll move on to that. Stephen Brames asked a good question. What's a good frequency to detect Roman coins and hammered coins? Now, as we all know, hammered coins, Roman coins can be that big or that big, and that thick or that thick, and hammered coins are very thin. Are you talking about a single frequency machine?
Yeah, I think he is. And you're talking about whether they are copper alloys or bronze or gold, because different frequency, different stuff. You're looking, I'd do 15 to 20. I wouldn't go real low frequency.
I'd do 15 hertz. If you're on the Quest, I'd do 15 hertz. But don't ignore 7.
No. And you can't, you know, a lot of these people who are using things like the Nox and they're like, oh, I don't dig anything below 10. You're idiots. You're actual idiots. Like, you can get a cut half out of cut half at about 6. Like, you dig. You dig. The other day, I found a stonking, really nice fibula. Sorry.
Right, okay.
But
so just let Donna.
It made exactly.
Actually, I'm going to show a picture of it because it is a really nice. I dug
about picture. 4 pounds of lead. So it's 2 kilos of lead. It was a nuts lead day, and that signal was exactly the same as the lead signals I was getting, and I nearly didn't dig it. So it just goes to show you have to dig, you know, every half decent signal. And it was a funny day for lead. They were all different funny shapes. So a lot of them were sounding half in, half out, really jumpy signals. So yeah, thank you. Is that my payback?
Sorry?
Our friend Adrian's been having some fun with Photoshop this week.
No, I've got a pic. I'm trying to find the picture of your fibula.
I'll be there somewhere. Thank you. Yes.
And
I thought you were my friend.
No, I will find it. It is a beautiful fibula, I must admit. Don't.
It wasn't that one. No, that wasn't mine. Are we going through your whole phone?
There we go.
There you go.
How lovely is that?
And it's a stonking big one as well. It's a really nice
That's what I found.
I love that.
But
I have
look
found
at that field. Look at
was
that field.
perfect. And you didn't come, did you? You didn't come. I walked onto the field and it was like that. And it was a surprise for me. I've never known.
Why didn't I come? Oh, I know.
Because you had a heating issue, but I have never known. So that field,
Linford Christie.
That field was seeded, and with beans, and I've never known a farmer to roll a field after he's set it before. That was really weird.
It's all technology, but lovely fibula.
I was chuffed with that. But like I say, Stephen, that made exactly the same noise as all the crappy, weird sized bits of lead I was getting. So, if you hear it, dig it. Few just before my special pics I sent, Donna said TC.
John Clayton, that cop bite was brilliant. Show it again, Adrian.
That's such a funny thing.
I will show it just because we can.
That was, I think, one of our friends sent us that. There you go.
Donna.
David Evans had a gold ring on a manticore at a 10.
So, yeah.
And that wasn't me. That was not me. I wasn't that person. Stop that.
Derek Sherwin.
Yeah, probably.
All the hammered I've found haven't been screamers, mid-tones, but good and solid. The screamers have turned out to be full. Yes, actually, Derek, that's a very good point. There are certain machines that I've got which will scream out a hammered, and I can honestly say they're not multi-frequency.
Don't know the legend. When I found a cut half with the legend.
Ah, actually, yeah, you're right, Donna. Yeah, you're right.
I thought it was going to be massive, and when I couldn't find it, I was very confused.
Vanquish 540 and the legend, they absolutely scream.
Yeah, they really did.
And the single frequency machines.
No, Michael, it's probably a Colchester type bow brooch, 1st, 2nd century, would be the same as a lot of the other brooches that I found on that field, but most of them are smaller than that. I've not found one as big as that before.
No, it's beautiful. I would have gone over that, Donna, and you would have gone over it with your coil over my boot footprint and found it. They don't want me. The
thing was, I was going to say that was exactly the bit of land that I was going to give Adrian to do, and hand on heart, I thought I'm going to let Adrian do that because I haven't touched that this year. There you go.
And in the end, my boiler was playing up, and I had, believe it or not, Linford Christie come and service my boiler.
Nice bloke.
It wasn't. He did look like him. Well, he was a nice bloke, Donna, but he ended up spending a lot of time in the garden with the dog rather than servicing the boiler, but sorting out. But anyway, I will be up there soon. Anthony Mims
said the Nooks 800 scooped out 2 half groats yesterday.
Yeah,
great. The Nooks will. It doesn't scream though, does it? The Nooks makes a really bland noise. I love my Nooks, Anthony, but I prefer the noise that the Deus makes. Have you heard of the arrowhead from the oak that King Edmund was killed at? It's in Moyses Hall, Bury St Edmunds. No, I haven't, Matt. Have I? No. So the arrow that killed King Edmund, who is the patron saint of something, but he's Bury St Edmunds, isn't he? There's a big statue of him. He was in Moyses Hall in Bury St Edmunds. So he was defending from the Vikings, I think. Remind me, Matt, I'm blurry. I've had a glass of wine. Anthony said depends on the headphones. No, I don't know what headphones you got, Anthony. I mean, I got the ones that came with the machine. That was the 800. So in terms of clothes, look, I would say wear layers. Make sure, because you can get on a field in your fat jacket with your neck scarf thingy and a waistcoat on and a vest and a t-shirt and 3 sweatshirts and end up, just in a t-shirt. The weather changes while you're out in the field, so wear layers. Wear 2 pairs of socks is good if you're wearing boots, because then your feet won't get sore. And really good footwear that supports your ankles, but obviously in really bad weather, a good pair of wellies, and I don't mean the sort that cost £10 from Shoes Direct or wherever you get them, because
Is that each?
No, that's for about 5 pairs, I think. The cheap wellies are really bad for your feet, and your feet are going to get really cold in them as well in the winter. But start simple. You don't have to go out and buy detecting clothes, but when you do, support our dealers for good quality sweatshirts. Do you know what? My Regton hoodie is probably the warmest hoodie I think I have ever bought, and that includes Harley hoodies. It's really snuggy. I love the way the neck comes up, and really cozy. So thank you, Regton. I bought that at RCM, I think.
And more importantly, tell people where you're going.
Always tell somebody where you're going. Do not tell your friends, your mates in the pub, anyone like that in the club where you found anything good, though, please, because they'll tell somebody else.
Tell your housing manager or partner or son or daughter.
Put your phone on, because make sure your tracker's on your phone.
Yeah, I'd quite like to pass away in the middle of a field with like a groat in my hand or a denarii, but I reckon I could be there for days, weeks, months. But yeah, always tell someone where you're going. Can
we ask the group, do you tell your other half? I mean, some of you will be living on your own anyway, but if you got somebody, what wellies do I have, Stephen? I have got the only wellies that you should have are Barber wellies. But no, there are other brands. The best ones that I had were, what are they called? Sealand?
Yeah.
Australian company, and they've stopped making them now. They were like putting on slippers. Not a good place to find decent wellies is go to a shooting shop. Actually go to
I totally agree. Don't go to Sports Direct. No. Donna hit the nail on the head. Go to a sports clothing store.
Yeah. And do you know what? The footwear in there is cheaper than you think as well. It is cheaper than you think. So
I've got Barber.
I think they were 30 quid, my Australian ones. You can sometimes
Barbers weren't.
The Barbers are not, no. I always put them on my birthday list.
But
I put a pair of Ariat boots on my birthday list. Good
luck. What, both?
No, I'll only get one. I'll have to wait until next year for the other one.
I'll just say this, Barber, they're probably made in India now, but they're based up in the Midlands, I think. I bought a pair of their boots last year, very expensive, and they started cracking on the sole, and I emailed them, sent them a picture, and they said, really sorry, sent me a brand new pair. So it's wellies at the end of the day. I wasn't expecting much back, but you've got to take into account you want a hard, thick rubber sole, because when you're pushing that boot in, oh my God, we nearly finished.
Stephen has actually said he shares his GPS location on Google Maps with his wife, and she can see exactly where I am all the time. Stephen, I bet some blokes are not quite as good as you, and they don't want their wife to know exactly where they are. But yeah, it's a good idea. Philip says I've got a £10 Dunlop pair of boots with the insole for a pair of trainers. Philip,
actually, it might work. To be honest,
no idea.
No, it does. It does.
Is it?
I had Dunlops years ago, and they're really, really good boots, but they've got a crap insole. So if you I forgot about that, Philip.
That's a good one, mate.
And they're a bit cold in the winter when it's cold, but you're right. If you a good set of insoles for like £3, make those boots feel like £100. Very good. Right.
Jason Dark Knight says about the neoprene boots from Aldi are great.
Good luck.
Quid, and
I've had 3 pairs of them. They last you
I
about
know.
6 months.
I tell you what,
They don't
mine
last.
no. A good
They
pair of boots lasts me 2 years.
Yeah, they're like muck. They're like a fake muck boot. But
Okay.
he's had them for 3 years. But I
I
got
don't
through
think mine would
those.
last. I'd love to try,
No,
but I don't think
I've
they
had those.
would last.
Right.
Thank you for that. We've got loads more, but it's time to go home.
Yeah. Thank you all for joining us. It goes so quick, doesn't it?
Time to go home. Donna
Next week.
and Adrian are waving goodbye. Sorry. Goodbye.
Thanks for joining us, and we hope you enjoyed the show. We hope David gets better soon. He's probably laying in bed, eating an omelette or a pasty in bed whilst watching
Everyone
the show.
says get well in the chat, Dave, by the way.
Yeah.
He'll probably watch us back in the morning, so he might not see it. It's been a chatty night tonight. I hope you've enjoyed the chat.
But I like that. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. I like the talking chat. It's like how the show started out. It was like chatting in lockdown, and I like the way it continues. I think, and you're chatty, Donna. So
no, I'm not. I'm very quiet.
Thank you for coming on tonight, Donna. And
I don't know which way to look.
Maybe you'll be on next week. So
I might be on next week, and then we're going to book some cool guests to come on over April. Dave's lining some stuff up. He's put tons of new stuff on the R&D magazine, so do have a scroll through that. And he's also got in Alan Baxter's Making History, My Life as a Scottish Metal Detectorist. So we've actually got some of those books in, and he is going to come on the show and talk about it. So he's a Scottish metal detectorist, and it's a new book out. So
if you're sitting in your pants watching TV, turn it off. It's no good to me. So why don't you go and buy a copy of Treasure Hunting magazine and read Donna's article? That is really interesting. It's not all words. It's
got that in it. That's what it's all about.
Stuff in it and coins and things. So that's written by Donna in this month's Treasure Hunting magazine. Go out and buy it in WH Smith's. It's cheaper than a pint, I think.
It's a good read, actually. The last few months.
Yeah, it is.
I love it every month, but the last few months, I think, have had awesome articles in, actually.
Thank you. And we have. And that's why it's the world's, well, it says Britain's, but it is the world's biggest selling metal detective magazine. But we can't back that up because we can't manage the stats out of the UK. But in the UK, but anyway, love you all. Thank you very much for joining us. Good luck this weekend. I'm going out with the Equinox 700. So I'll tell you more. Well, I have been out for a while, but I'll tell you more about that next week.
And I'm not allowed out because I will be partying. It's my birthday on Monday. The kids are coming home.
Yeah, Donna, you don't no one's going to send you gifts. All right?
I don't want a gift. No.
Milking.
I just want to get
love you all.
Card. Love you all. Good night. See you next week.
Bye.